Few parts of our management system are more essential than our cadence and synchronization. Essentially, this is how do we manage the work? Work flows through our teams day in and day out, and we have to execute. So how do we know what that work is and keep it moving? That's our cadence and synchronization. Too often, that system is have a weekly staff meeting, see where everybody is, and send them off to go deliver. That certainly isn't a system, and very much is not a lean management system for cadence and synchronization. So what does a lean cadence and synchronization system do? It manages the work. It makes sure that we have everything all in one place. It makes sure that that work is flowing. We want the work to flow at a continuous pace so we get stuff done. We want it to be synchronized. A lot of our work is interdependent with other groups, and are we on the same page? And fourth, we want to be able to see problems, because I can't fix the problems that I cannot see. And in terms of cadence and synchronization, the problems are things that block the flow from proceeding. Have we built a management system to achieve those things? That's what makes it a lean cadence and synchronization management system. As an example of what that looks like from a flow perspective, I practice personal Kanban. Personal Kanban is essentially doing what Kanban in a factory might do. You're creating pull of the work through you as a resource to make sure that you continue to flow. So my practice has evolved over time, but fundamentally, I have a queue of work that needs to get done with some prioritization and visualization of how long stuff's been sitting there. I have work in process with work in process limits, so I don't start 7 things and finish none. And all of that flows through to being done. By having that workflow, I can visualize it, I can manage it, I can see where problems are, and it makes me more productive and, more importantly, more focused. Now, on a larger system, I worked with one leader who built that for his team. As an executive team, they managed all of their work together on one single visual management board. They had daily huddles every single day. They looked at the flow of work through themselves as a team. This wasn't about their factory. It wasn't about their teams. This was about their work. Now, an interesting tidbit that comes out of this is that this executive measured his emails. How many does he get? And by managing his workflow in a visual way with his team, with a cadence of looking at it daily, their emails dropped by 80%. Because the cadence of the daily huddle and the visualization of the work kept them all synchronized, which meant they didn't need email to stay on pace and to stay synchronized. So those are just examples, and we can all learn our way to our best practices. There's many other practices that we can adopt, but we have to be achieving the same things with our cadence and synchronization systems. As you build your systems for cadence and synchronization to manage the work, there's 3 criteria that you should be thinking about. And these 3 criteria are actually what trip people up. They become the difficult part of making these systems work, but it's also where the value is provided. Number 1, make it granular. Often people want to put big initiatives, big projects, big blocks of work together. You can't actually manage the task of build a house. You can't even manage the task of build a bathroom. But install the sink, that's a specific task. That's granular. And when it's granular, I can move it, I can manage it, I can measure it, and I can see if there's a problem. If you don't make the work granular and you put things in too aggregated of box, you're never going to be able to achieve the lean activities that you want. Number 2, it has to be transparent. If people can't see each other's work, if their work is on a pad of paper next to their desk, or in their head, or in their email inbox, I can't stay synchronized to each other. I can't see problems. And so making it transparent, even if that means the team putting up Post-its on a wall so they can all see what's important to each other, is fundamental to stay aligned, to stay in high agreement, and to spot problems. And number 3 is it has to be responsive. There's no way that we ever plan the work and then execute flawlessly. Deliver flawlessly as opposed to execute flawlessly means that when something is off track, we respond. We know when it's off track, and we tie that to our problem-solving management system to make sure that we fix what's in the way of our work flowing. So whatever management system tools you decide to use to build cadence and synchronization, you have to make it granular, you have to make it transparent, and you have to make it responsive. And then you will achieve flow in your work.